Tebi Nesser. Hey, it's me, Nesser. Welcome to Nesser Pod. This is where I dive a little deeper into some of my guests' lives. Sometimes we dive a little too deep, other times we stay on the surface vibing. Either way, come along on this journey. I hope you enjoy this episode.
Very hard to pay into anywhere again.
Oh, 100%.
It makes it very techy.
Like, now I know DJs, I'm like, yo, Bounce, guest list, OJ, guest list.
I want to fucking go to Aries in the academy tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I can get in for free, and I'm like,
yeah, no. And it's like, I'm not even like big time or whatever. Like, I've had like, one little gig, like, do you know what I mean? Pay me like €2 and I'm gas now.
You get a taste for it. It's very hard to get have a taste for it. It's very, very fucking
But it's like, I'm out. Like, people, like, I'm out a lot. I'm not even going to say that I'm not out a lot because I am out a lot. But the thing is like, I'm out like during the day. Like, I'm not out. You will never see me at night. Like, everybody's like, oh, you love going out. I was like, okay, name 2 times that you've seen me past midnight.
Why is that?
I don't like going out at night. I just don't like clubs. Like, the clubbing scene is just not my thing. Like, when I was like, let's not get like deep or whatever, but like when like I was like younger, like pre-COVID, like I wasn't very girly. So it was like, I felt like clubs are like, everybody's like, it's like where everybody goes to mate. Like, you dress up really nice and you try like,
You're not wrong.
yeah, do you know what I mean? And it's like, I wasn't trying to do that. And I knew that like, if you looked at me, you're not going to be like, all right, let me move to this girl. Like, do you know what I mean?
What you think?
Before, obviously now I'm lying, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
I was like, you're
they'll move to me now, but no, like back then. So it was just like, but I was like a tomboy. So like, I was used to like being like friends with lads, like, and I was comfortable with that because I was playing football most of the time. Like, I didn't have time for that.
You know what's so funny? And we'll have to start very soon. Remember that girl Manu play football, Ginger?
No, we're in now, by the way.
Oh, wait.
Unless you want to cut this.
No,
thing out.
well, black out name. What was her name? Real Burley chick. So this is the thing, right? So
Amber Barrett.
Yeah,
I know her.
Fam,
I played against her.
She was fucking gas because like she would constantly be on nights out and she would like constantly like try me.
Yeah.
And I'm not really attracted to you, but also you're very funny and good vibes.
Yeah.
Like many times I was kind of like, well, we just go
One more shot.
Go on. I'm like, you're on good vibes. I bet you can good vibe your way into some dick very easy.
Yeah, she would threaten people with sex though. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, let's not go there. You like, do you know what's so funny? People come on podcasts and like, oh yeah, we'll cut that out. Who's we? Who's we? Like, sure.
Block out her name. You can keep it.
No, of course.
In.
I'm kidding, but
Should
like,
we be putting the mic to our mouth?
can you
Sorry.
hear them? Are
Yeah.
you good?
Oh,
Spinning it like.
yeah, sir. I did not know we were on like that.
Bloody wand, like. But yeah, like that's the thing, and it's like I know that I have sauce in it, like,
Yeah.
but like my sauce is not like aesthetically pleasing. Like
Currently.
No, now I have everything.
Okay,
10 out of 10, bro.
Good,
No, I'm
good,
joking. But like back then, but like also I wasn't like comfortable in myself. Like I was just like vibing. So since then, I've just never really liked clubs. Do you know what I mean? And it's like I like partying. I like whatever. Like, but I also want to have
like
energy. Hoeing.
Yeah. Do you hoe?
During the daytime.
Like explain hoeing.
Like, do you like going? Oh, do you like going on dates and getting with people who you maybe do not know?
No.
Super well? I'm not like sex, but like
No.
kissing.
I don't. I hate dating.
Oh really?
So you don't like hoeing, you don't like dating, because they can be 2 different things. Like, do you like kissing strangers?
So many questions. I like kissing, but I would rather
Emphasis on strangers, though.
just like see. Okay, when I was younger,
Yeah.
obviously, Matt, you wouldn't have experienced this, but I was black.
Yes.
Okay, but like,
And you grew up in Waterford,
grew
was
up
it?
in Waterford,
Okay,
exactly.
yeah.
So I was
Techie,
used
techie.
to knacker drinking, going out like that. Obviously,
You're supposed to say knacker drinking.
sorry. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
Drinking on the street, sorry.
I've actually never used that like phrase in like so long. I'm so sorry. Don't cancel me. But anyway, we're drinking in the fields and stuff, but also
Yeah.
then going to clubs and like, obviously the goal was to kiss as many people as
As many,
possible.
yeah.
Then, yeah, I didn't
Okay.
mind it. Do you get me? Now I've grown up and been enlightened in COVID. I don't think I would kiss a stranger like in a club. Like,
Okay.
that's just not my thing.
Oh,
And then,
yeah, yeah,
and then
well,
my girls aren't like I don't have that many female friends, so it's like if like it would be like Avengers Assemble. Like, do you know what I mean? I would have to make sure that everybody's there.
Well, look, I mean, that makes perfect sense then, because if you don't like hoeing and you don't like maybe like getting drunk and fucked up, why would you enjoy clubbing? Like, those are the 2
Exactly.
things. Like, it's hoeing, getting drunk and fucked up, and maybe talking to a lot of people, but really that's like a secondary
Yeah.
I see a
activity.
lot of kissing in clubs anymore though. Is it our age? Is it the
No,
nights we
you're
go on?
just going to fucking fucking Red's house. That's why. Like
Everyone knows each other. So
everyone's who stush in a corner with their shirt.
Black people
like,
don't kiss in public. Like
they don't like it, bro.
No,
they'll
not
like
really.
like no.
Not in a setting that they know of.
I mean, look, I know.
Have you not experienced this, Matt? Come on.
As someone-
As somebody who's white.
Matt loves, like, Matt's a white boy. He loves tongue kissing strangers, bro.
It's
Like,
my favorite pastime.
Oh my goodness.
but like, there are guys I know who would be like, I would have sex with someone, but I wouldn't kiss them, and I'm like, that's fucking crazy.
That's weird.
Really deep psychologically. That's.
I hear it. I hear it. I hear it.
Kissing too romantic? Or what?
Yeah, like I feel like it's weird because I think our society has flipped sex. Like I feel like sex is very accessible, but love is not accessible. So I feel like love is part of kissing, unless you're obviously like deep in the thing. Like, do you know what I mean? So I think people have like attachment issues and vulnerability issues.
I tell you, man, like 7 gin and tonics deep, just tongue kissing a stranger. There's no love there. It's just messy. It's just messy. And it's not. I feel like sex is very like, it's more so committal than kissing, right? Because I think sex is like a lot of stuff. Like, for example, I think you can like very much like be drunk and kiss someone and like not think too much about it.
I do believe that sex is deeper and like
and also just you have to be a lot more aware of the other person.
Of course.
You have to like check
Consent,
in
all
and
of
be
that,
like and also be like it's hard to fuck up a kiss. Like kissing's pretty easy to be okay at. Maybe not great at, but okay.
Exactly.
At.
To be like to not mess up.
Yeah, but I mean, sex, like as Matt can attest to, like we've given someone whack dick, and we're like, we cannot untake that, bro. Like, I'm sorry, but
I don't know how. Yeah,
I was having an off day, bro. Like, what do you want me to do?
Terrible.
Oh God, yeah. Or like, so not giving you like there was. I'm not giving no names. There's a girl in college I wanted to get with for ages, right? And she was always, and we always kind of friends. She was like, no, come on, Daffy, we're just friends. I'm like. Yeah, and then we kissed her a bit. Like I'm like, and she's like, no. And then finally, she like gave me a chance, and I was like, very drunk, and it just was not working correctly, and it was all over the place. And then I was like, hey, like a month later, like, hey, will we do that again? And I was kind of like, no, never again. Like she'd happily kiss me on night out, but be like, there's no way we're having sex.
Have you guys found like that awkward balance between like friend zone and like this could be something? Like, have you guys ever experienced that? Like, I find, like, a lot of, like, guys and girls, like, obviously, do you know, like, when, like, you'll have, like, a female friend and, like, there's certain situations where you're, like, this is straight friend zone, and then there's other situations where it's, like, we're friends, but, like...
No, we went to Maynooth, everyone crossed that barrier. Everyone.
Do you guys know Sam?
Everyone's fucking everybody.
Sam Arsanya?
No.
He got kicked out of everywhere in Maynooth. He's, like, my best friend. He's from Waterford.
Sam?
Yeah. No, he didn't do enough damage then. That's good.
Maybe he wasn't going to Roost and Brady's because
I think he.
It was one of those two spots.
I know. I know.
A lot of options.
I know he got kicked out of a couple of places, so maybe that's why he didn't go anymore. But like, we always have this conversation.
Wait,
Samuel.
Is his name Samuel?
Yes.
He did a master's as well.
No. He moved to England then, given his whole thing. Even gave his golf. But like, people always like talk about kind of that whole crossing the line with the friends and trying to like go back. Have you guys ever experienced that?
It's healthy.
It's healthy.
Fuck your friends. I think once
this is why men suck.
It's healthy, man. No, but like, because honestly, as well, I feel like this is the thing. So I think assuming you are someone who's into the opposite sex or even the same sex, I think, but probably the opposite sex happens more. One of three things is going to happen in my mind is either A, you are going to get with someone you are friends with. B, they are going to try to get with you and you curve them, or they curve you. Or C, you're going to at least think about it. Like for me, I feel like if you also are attracted, like if you are, let's say, attracted to someone that you are friends with, like that could potentially be like a partner for life. Like, isn't that what a relationship is? Yeah. But I also think as well, it's like if you are just kind of like, oh, hey, we tested this thing out. It did not work, and be very open in the dialogue all the way through, you'll be fine. As in, like,
that's the problem, the openness. Your species specifically are not open.
No, but
everybody's like, oh, let's be open, let's chat about it, and then
some people are not built for casual dating.
Yeah,
like, that's the thing. Like,
I'm not built for casual dating. I tried.
Even me myself, I knew what was up. I was like, I was not the type who could like, let's say, be like kind of seeing someone and sleeping with someone and then like texting and seeing them like a couple times a week. I will fall in love with you. I know myself. I gave myself that distance from, you know, I wouldn't do that. I'd be like, look, we can only see each other like once a week or whatever, because I couldn't do that. I know how I would work.
I'm fine with doing that under the right circumstances. I think if it's clear, the expectations, that's fine. But I think a lot of guys do it without setting any expectations, and then it becomes a mess later in the line.
No, I'm a definitely marry me or I'm die type girl.
I have a question for you.
Marry me now. I'm joking.
Do you do you have an ex-boyfriend or partner or whatever that would vouch for you right now as a good
what do you
person?
Mean? Like that would call me a good person?
If you could call them right now, would they say?
Yeah, hundos.
And for me, you need that. Otherwise,
I need like I have 2 of them.
Otherwise, you talk. To me, that's a red flag.
What?
If you don't have an ex-partner that can vouch for you right now, if you call them
I thought you meant like having an ex-partner.
No, that's good. Like if you don't have that, if you don't have an ex-partner that can vouch for you right now on the phone, that's a red flag.
Yeah, of course. I can call anybody. Yeah. I'm hanging out with him later. That's a red flag.
I was thinking the most recent. I'm like, if you call up, she's going to spit on your name.
The other ones are great.
Okay,
those are pretty good. But we speak friendly of each other.
Yeah.
Spoke to her yesterday, actually.
Oh, really?
Enough.
What are you talking about?
Someone in her family died, so I sent her a message of love and condolences. Sorry, this is so.
That's not what we thought was gonna happen. But yeah, guys, that was not what I expected to be talking to you about. But like you said, you guys are gonna
derail this whole
everything.
Thing. Yeah, we did tell you.
I mean, I'm sure if people haven't seen by now, we have Tebi Rex.
Oh, hello.
On the couch with me, and we have Max Zanga.
What's up?
Or Fillmore. And we have Matt Fada. All right, let's talk a bit of music. Cool. Where do I want to start? Because where did you guys start? Like, how did you guys meet? Like,
oh yeah, I love this story. So we're both separately doing music a little bit before we met. We met in a college talent show, Manute. So it was like Manute Music Society got this thing where it's like everyone gets like points for doing different events with different societies in the college, and then at the end, most points wins. Kind of like a weird Gryffindor, Ravenclaw type of bullshit. But that was Lit and Deb. Or Max was Lit and Deb, so I can't give government names. Lit and Deb, and then I was Kilt na Gaeilge, Big Gaeilgeoir. And yeah. And then we ended talent show together. Max came second, I came first. It was great. I did like a medley of like 8 songs though, so I kind of cheated, but is what it is. But then like we kind of became a little bit friendly-ish then. But then we were on, I think you put up a status on Facebook being like, "Hey, anyone want to make a band?" And it was like listed a lot of artists I liked. It was like NERD, Childish Gambino, Kate Nash type of stuff. And I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. I've always kind of wanted to make hip hop music as well, but I didn't really like know the avenues of doing that, like how to even start that.
What type of music were you making, like ballads and stuff?
It was like typical white boy with a guitar type of stuff. It was like, you know what I mean?
Wonderwall?
It was like pop. Yeah. So it wasn't really my thing, so I didn't really like listen to that kind of music as well.
Wait, you didn't really listen to pop
music?
Not
as much, no.
Oh, so it's obviously hard to find inspiration in a genre that you don't listen to, right?
I was more so listening to hip hop, and I was just like, okay, that makes sense to do that. I didn't know that when I wrote to him being like, yeah, let's do it, and we met up and we were making music together, he was also making music with other people to see who he like blended with the best.
Dating.
I was auditioning, basically.
I posted a public status on a public forum. Other people replied under your comment. What did you think happened? You thought I was like, ignored them. I was like, all right, straight to this guy.
He's the one.
I barely know.
But yeah, go ahead.
And that was it. Then we were like just jamming and stuff in like in Manute like auditoriums and stuff, and then in like my gaff and everything. I'm just trying to get songs together. Yeah. And then trying to perform. And then I had to like learn to rap and shit like a couple months later.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Did we record our first song near here? Because it was with, I think, Tunde.
Oh, in his old place.
Yeah, I think his old place is near here, or it was here?
Jungle Beam.
No, like old place.
Oh, no.
So before Jungle Beam, it was a different place with Paddy Blaze and them.
If it's in Tala, it's around here. It was in Tala, wasn't it?
It was.
I think it was close. Yeah.
I
think it was.
Crazy.
It could have been this studio.
Was it empty? Was it?
Fine. It was empty and thirsty.
Yeah.
I'm screaming. Like, around what year was that? Like
2018.
Okay.
No.
So
2017 is it?
No,
sorry. No, you're right. Yeah.
It would have been 20. If I went, it would have been 2015, 16.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So by my calculations, that was probably like second year, first year of college.
It was my
For
second
him.
year of college.
Okay.
I was leaving.
He was the SU head at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was done.
So pretty late into college, you would have started like you would have met.
Well, yeah, late for him. Yeah, I met him my first year around the second semester, and that's when we first met. And
Yeah.
he was kind of running for president at the
Yeah.
time.
And how did you know that he was the one?
Music wise, I thought he was very. I thought he had a very unique voice. I liked it. I was really into someone sounding like very much like their own thing because it helps you carve out a path that's uniquely your own, which I feel like we've kind of kept up as an ethos. You know, even from the fucking like name, like we wanted to make a name that if you searched it, nothing else came up by us, and we were kind of like. That's what we want it to be. It's all original. It's all ourselves. It's all our unique voice. And you never get mixed with any or confused for anybody else. Yeah.
So what does Tebi Rex mean then?
Cannot tell you.
Couldn't tell you,
Good. Okay, so no exclusive on this.
No, unfortunately not. We've given clues to people to like let them try and figure it out, but not many have. I think like one or two have. I told my sister what it meant years ago and she forgot, so that's a bit of it's tough.
Can't be telling people that.
Manjola asked me last night and I was like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, I can't.
That's crazy. Do you know what's funny? I've never even thought that it could have meant anything. I was just like, all right, cool. You guys are called.
Very distinct thought out meaning. It's ridiculous.
That's crazy. Oh, I want to know now. But that's cool. Okay, so you would have met like 2015, 16. In and around then, it wasn't a couple of years then until you like put up your first single or whatever's on Spotify, right? Like
our first like Spotify release was.
Everything You Say Is a Poem, which is down.
Was it?
Yeah, because we at the time, that was before like Spotify was like a guaranteed thing. So we were releasing on YouTube. It was like YouTube and kind of like SoundCloud and like Facebook videos and whatever. So our first song was like this song called Empty, which is erased from every. Actually, we have it back up on Spotify. No, we don't have it back up on Spotify.
I think it was ever on Spotify.
No, it's on streaming services. But then I think it would have been like 2017 we started releasing Spotify, and then 2018 we were really kicked off with like, like I think that was the Longitude and Men Are Trash and that EP and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And like yous got picked up pretty quickly, you know? Like then your album was what? Was it album or EP in 2019?
It was the EP was 2018, the album was 2019.
Okay.
But yeah, there was like a steep thing. I think like there's a real benefit to being fresh and new is that eyes get on you very quickly, and like we had interest from like labels and stuff like that, and a lot of stuff was happening super quick, especially with the EP because the EP was like getting onto like the viral UK charts and the viral Irish chart. I think when Spotify was very new as well, it was a good time for us.
Yeah. How did you deal with that? Like if it's something that obviously it's a new streaming service, it's a new way of monetizing music, and when you started making music, like it wouldn't have been around. So how did you? I think
I just kind of went with it. I think it's like you kind of go with anything. It's like with new services now, you kind of just run with it and see what happens and figure it out later. Yeah. Because it was handy to do, but we were Googling like how do we get our music on Spotify? It's like how does that even work? Go to a distributor and that kind of stuff. But yeah, then we had the album in 2019. So things started to get we kind of really started to shape ourselves then.
Yeah.
I think the EP was like it was good and we really enjoyed making it, but we took any critical feedback really intensely and like tried to like really focus on that and change what we did.
You say that in a negative way?
No, like we got good feedback and we got some feedback that was like really constructive, and like some people actually did like a critical look at the EP and said this guy sounds bad here, Matt's vocals are weak here, or like it's mixed poorly, and we're like, okay, cool, how
do you feel about that?
Let's fix that. Very necessary. If everyone tells you you're great and you're not, you're never gonna get better.
Hey. Oh, yeah, my Snap story used to be unnecessary.
Very good.
But that's interesting. Do you feel like you're replying to that now after seeing it, or did you feel like that? Because I feel like people take criticism in different ways. Yes, it's necessary, but like, do you feel like some of it was a bit like, oh my God, leave me alone? Like, were you ever like that, or you just took it on the chin?
No, I think at the time we were pretty level-headed about the whole thing. I think maybe the greatest benefit to us, or what shaped us most as musicians, is that we weren't what I would call instantly talented. Like I've known Jafara since I was 16. He was the best rapper in Ireland when he was 16. Like he was just always good. Like Hair Square were just always good. And then you see people like MJ, who has been the whole time we've been hanging out, like freestyling and then like slowly working on music, and it's worked to the point where he got to the level he's at now, and he's like good and he's solid now. But I think when we started off, we were far from the best singer or rapper in the country, and we were never under any misconceptions about that. I think we got as far as we did because we were able to be funny and make music and lyrics that are compelling, but it was not the strongest vocally, it was not the strongest rap performance, and that's something that we improved on and we figured out. So you needed those criticisms.
Yeah.
I think Ireland has a real problem of either they love you and everyone's writing about you, or they don't and they say nothing.
Yeah.
I feel like in the saying nothing can actually be quite harmful in terms of someone trying to progress and improve what they're doing. It's a fucking craft. Like, it's not like it's like sport where you have a coach and someone's going to tell you where you can be stronger.
Yeah.
If no one's telling you where you can be stronger, where you can improve, if you're talented, that's fine. You'll make it regardless. If you're not talented or you're not the best, you will never get better. I think that is like
Do you have
really
any
harmful.
thoughts on why that is in Ireland?
Because it's small and people don't want to ruffle feathers.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to be like, I think these niggas EPs suck, and then you see them next week and you're like, hey, aren't you the fucking guy that said that
screaming.
suck? Like,
But sometimes I feel like some people don't actually know what they're talking about. Because personally, the reason why, like, I remember, like, I did, like, was it 2 years ago? I did, like, my top 10 Irish songs right now. And then
we were on this, right?
I'm not going to lie, and I'm going to get into that. Like, I don't get your music sometimes. Like, it's very satire, and it's like, I just don't understand what's happening. Like, even though, like, where's the whole pass? Like, I listen to it and I'm like, this shit is funny, but I just don't know what to do. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you've seen my stories, like, I like rapping along or like pretending like I'm in, like, I don't relate to you at all. And
I mean,
it's not in the sense that I don't like your music. It's just like, I don't know what to do.
I think a lot of times as well, it's like, it's all about, a lot of times it's also about fucking setting. And I think a lot of musicians have their setting planned out in terms of this is where people are going to listen to it. And we have like a few Tebi Rex songs where you're like, oh, you can listen to this getting ready or in the club. But a lot of the times as well, like, I think our sex playlist, bro. But I feel like our original stuff and our original album, I was like, see, the problem is a lot of it is like shit that white girls would do coke to. And I feel like if you're not a white girl doing coke, I get it. I do get it. I do get it.
I'm like, what is, why? Why are they saying these things?
There are two rappers in the country, or two groups in the country, two rappers in the country, to my knowledge now, male rappers, where their audience are majority women, and we are one of them. Where it is like majority girls listening to like the Tebi Rex stuff.
Yeah. How do you navigate that? Like, is it something that you's planned, or was it just kind of, we're gonna throw this and see what sticks?
Not at all, man. I think, I don't know, maybe we hang out with a lot of women. I think like probably like 60-70% of my friends are women. But I don't know. I think it's like, listen, as well, like, I find that like your audience is your audience and you're grateful regardless. You know, like I always joke at Mango, I'm like, the Mango Math Man has every white man in Dublin at the show. And there's like 4 girls. But it's like, if you're selling out a room of 700 people, fuck it. Your audience is your audience. Be grateful for them, you know?
So how does that dictate your writing process?
Doesn't.
It just happens that way.
You came here organically, and we're not trying to cater for you. Well, let's keep doing us, and then hopefully you stay around.
What is your writing process? Because I saw recently on congrats on your release yesterday. But I saw, like, I can't remember whoever put out the article about it, and you were
Notion,
and you were like,
Nice,
you were
flex,
saying like
flex.
that. Sorry.
I said flex.
Yeah, it's Notion magazine.
And you were saying that like your writing process has to do with being you, right?
Absolutely.
And like, how do you navigate that? Like, do you ever run out of things to talk about? Because like I said, like, I'm not you. I don't have the same experiences as you, which is why like I don't understand what the hell you're talking about. Like, and I'm not saying that everything that I listen to, like, I listen to drill, bro. I grew up in whatever. Like, I don't understand what they're saying. But like, there's something in my mind. There's a perception of that I can relate to.
Yeah.
But like, I don't, like, obviously your song about Where's the Hall Pass, I get it, because as somebody who went to Catholic school. But other than that, like, how do you express yourself? Like, how do you make that work?
I do find that sometimes I cover the same topics a lot, but like that's just kind of what's going on to me at the time. But like I find you get the best art from what you know best, and I just know myself the best more than anything else. And I would just, it's also a lot easier to not do an act and not like write about something I don't know. I don't know. I think especially as like a white dude in hip hop, I don't want to like I don't want to like do real fucking drill and shit. You know what I mean? Like, because I just don't do that for me. Do you know what I mean? I don't know anything about that.
Oh, now I thought of a great way to explain our music.
Go ahead.
To make you a fan, or to maybe win you over, and win maybe the audience over, right? Because I feel like anyone who's done even fucking like English at like high level in the Leaving Cert and that, it's like all of it is, it's never the straightforward path, right? There's a way to get from point A to point B, and if you read Shakespeare or you read a novel, they'll never do that. They'll never be like, the sea, it was a warm day. They say, I was sitting on the sun.
You always have to put it suddenly.
So it's like you're putting up parameters around something to make the picture more compelling. I think for us, what we've always found, and in fairness, I always drag Matt into this because like I did English in college. I love wankery English stuff. I love like the high finagle blah 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 blah. It's like artsy nonsense.
Yeah.
It's like instead of for us, it's like and maybe also we're trying to make up for like what we felt was maybe not a lack in skill, but not maybe being the most skillful. But we felt that if there's a way to talk about heartbreak and we can say we're heartbroken, how do we put that through a more interesting, compelling frame? And that makes it maybe weirder, but it's something unique. So for example, our first album was all about fame. It was all about like what being a musician and what fame and what clout does to your ego and how that's ultimately an unhealthy thing. And there was two ways to go about that. It was for us to talk about our very like real experiences, how it in parts made me a worse person than I typically am, how it like enhanced all my worst qualities. But to us, what came off as more interesting, what was more unique was the closest thing to being a god in modern society is celebrity. It's famous. It's like Kendall Kylie Kardashian was nearly a billionaire, right? And then her fans started donating her money to be a billionaire. That's a deity. People are worshiping you. So we said, okay, let's do an album where we're talking about Greek myths and gods, and it's the idea of like the rise and fall of a god, the rise and fall of a celebrity, and it's all drenched in this like references to the Odyssey and all that, and fucking Troy and Percy Jackson's and all that kind of shit. Because it's like makes it more inaccessible, and we do get that, and we kind of contend with that sometimes. But to me, I'm like, that's the perfect metaphor for what this is. It's becoming a god, becoming famous, and then no one's famous forever and falling. So I think that's it. We love like putting it through a filter where it's like it'll be something that feels wholly and uniquely ours.
Yeah.
So even like Where's Your Hall Pass and that kind of stuff. I love that show Fillmore. Like I thought it was fucking great. But the thing that I always found funny was if you were to give me at 16 any kind of power or authority, I'd be a piece of shit. Yeah. Like teenagers, you can't trust teenagers with power or authority. And then you think about school and everything around it. It's like, how about you make something that's like that's almost like a parody of like school, where you like take all those themes and you make them extremely dramatic and you amp everything up to 11. And then you want to talk about, because I think I could be like, school is really bad, and I think actually Nilo has a fucking beautiful verse on a song with Cobb talking about school and Catholic school and like the like priests touching kids, and it's like fucking beautiful. And I'm like, that's like the approach that makes a lot of sense. But then I just think as well, like if you make something that's like parody, or you make something that's like almost like a panto or like a show play of being like, what's the opposite approach of tackling that same issue?
Because not everybody's gonna gravitate to the same thing. Like obviously you guys have fans for a reason, and they obviously see the world or relate to the world somewhat the same way you do, versus someone like Nilo. If he's making, I find his songs a lot more dramatic and deeper. Like, do you know what I mean? So like if someone sees it that way, it's gonna be very hard for them to also relate to you.
Also, one better, like if he's done it, can you do it better? Yeah. And that's the question. Like, I think everyone's dropping like the COVID album, right? I said, no one's doing it better than Charlie XCX. Stop. Think, like readjust. How can you approach it differently? Because like, if someone's done it and they've done it well and they're popular, the question for you is, can you do it better? If the answer is no.
What do you mean by COVID album?
Okay, so Charlie XCX did basically like an album whilst we were in lockdown. It was like the first big COVID album. It was about being in lockdown, being trapped in your room. Yes, she did it all from her house. And it's like, you have to ask yourself now, if you're going to make a COVID project, if you're doing the same themes, can you do it better than her? The answer for the vast majority was no.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I don't like raps that have like isolate like COVID, like poke you like a vaccine.
No,
like,
they can't.
Bro, like, I just can't. I can't
it's been because I bet you the first time we all heard it, we were like, oh,
whoa,
cool.
masked up, okay, cool.
Yo, masked off, not like Future. And now it's like, if you cannot do it better in an original way that's been done before, you just don't do it, you know? I feel that's what we were like, where a lot of stuff we said, can we tackle this better than who's done it? Someone who's been like a famed celebrity, you know, can we do it more impressively? If the answer is no, okay, let's do it weirder. Let's tackle it differently.
Do it the way you
to make art though as well.
Like this is the thing. It's like it's accessibility versus art. And do you want to compromise the art for accessibility?
Yeah.
And that's what happens majority of the time,
Yeah.
I would say. And that's how you get signed.
But do you feel like the accessibility in the art, like obviously you have stuck with the art in your own way of expression. Do you feel like that's paid off in the sense that, wait, first, are you guys signed?
No.
Okay, so in the sense of doing your art the way you do it, even without being signed, like it's almost like you have gotten a reward for sticking to yourself in the
100%.
sense of
You get
like,
to look back and be like, I'm really proud of that. I'm really happy with that. I didn't compromise myself.
Yeah.
And look, we have compromise. Like that's the thing as well, where it's we do make decisions, and we've had people be like, hey, we really like Men Are Trash. Can you make Men Are Trash again? And we've like tried. Like I feel like our song in our last album, like the 2019 album, Financial Controller. Like we had basically 2 songs that we wanted for singles. It was that and I Never Got Off the Bus. I Never Got Off the Bus is over 1 million streams.
Yeah.
Did really well. The first single was Financial Controller because at the time we were like signed to like a label for like this one song. They wanted to do the whole project, but there was like creative differences.
Yeah.
So we signed for one song, and they put like $5,000 plus behind Financial Controller. And at the time, and for a long time, it was our poorest performing song because it was like oh, they wanted like a Men Are Trash type song, and we made them a Men Are Trash type song. And it's like it's not even like it's a bad song. It's just it's not a single, and it was our poorest performing because it's like at the end of the day, everyone, including ourselves, are just trying to figure out and just trying to be successful and make money off this art. Like they were not malicious in that. They said this is done well. We think this is also going to do well, this style, and it just didn't.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it. It's like you make songs like it's hard to track in terms of like our most recent album. The songs that did well that we thought were gonna do well, and the songs that did poorly that we said, oh, this was like a hit, knock out the park.
Then we had an issue with the music video. Sorry, they wanted this.
They had this idea for music video, and they got us to meet their team, and it was like the most boring idea ever.
Yeah.
And we were like, we want to make a music video where Matt is in love and like literally has sex with a massive bag of money, and they were like, no, we're gonna put you guys in space on a planet.
Okay.
And I'm like, that has nothing to do with the song.
Yeah.
I was like, so yeah, we had to cut from them, and then we.
How do you guys deal, like, so obviously you aren't signed, but obviously different people, and I only know a little bit about the label thing, and I know that people can sign for just albums, they can sign for whole EPs, they can sign for literally whatever, like
distribution.
exactly, like it's not just like a lot of what we hear is stories that people sign like what a 360 max contract like for like 20,000 songs in 2 years, like, do you know what I mean? But like people in Ireland, I wouldn't say much people understand that process, or much people are given an opportunity to work with labels. Like, what was your experience, or what is your experience?
For one as well, what I'll say is a lot of people in Ireland are secretly signed. Like they have some kind of deal, some kind of partnership, some kind of something. Whether it's even like distribution, what happens a lot of times is, let's say you are a person with a project, an EP. Someone be like, I'll give you 10 to 20K. We're going to distribute this for you. You're going to keep the ownership. I'll take a portion of the profits for this 5-8 year period. So it's like a lot of people, like even like you didn't know that we had like a deal for like one song.
Yeah.
A lot of people, not like they're doing sneaky deals, but it's not like major record label deals. But I think, sorry, what was your question again?
What's your relationship with labels? Like, I was just saying from my experience as somebody who's an onlooker, and what I would think that the regular general public would know about labels, we wouldn't have as much access to information about labels in Ireland. The majority of what we'd see is the shitty deals that you see in America, in the UK and stuff. So from people who have worked with a label, are in that scene, like, what's your experience like?
Honestly, I think overall as experience, I feel like we've had good experiences, right? And we've had a lot of artists as well get reached out to. Like, we've said no to like a good amount of stuff. Like labels being like, I think there was one of the majors recently came to us in the last year or so, and they wanted to buy I Never Got Off the Bus. They were like, hey, we want to buy this song and then re-release it and then X, Y, and Z and do this and that, and we'll give you guys like 5K for it. And I'm like, the song is made already by itself more than that. Why would I give you two for that kind of price? But I think as well, it's like it's been like at the end of the day, like you see those massive 360 really toxic deals for people who are like a guaranteed knock out the park. The biggest issue probably with labels like this size is they're very non-committal. They're like, yeah, we'll sign you for a song and see how it goes. And you're like, can you maybe do like a whole project? They're like, know a song maybe, like one song or like an EP, like
Yeah.
2 songs.
Because they trust
And
that something will blow up. They just don't know how much.
and if it doesn't blow up, like they're out the pocket. Like
Yeah.
they are like out like what, like 10, 15, 20 grand. They're not getting gig money. Like that's the thing. It's not like they're doing like, you know, asking for masters or distribution, but
Yeah.
they're not asking for like a 360 gig money type of job. So they might never get the. I mean, that label never got their money back for financial controller. Like, they were good guys. I
Yeah.
feel bad about it. They should
were flexible,
they should have went with Bus. They would got their money back tenfold. But
Yeah, and how do you guys monetize off the music thing?
Couple different ways. So there's obviously streaming money, which is meh. It can be okay. Like typically, like 1 million streams,
Yeah.
about $4,000, about that.
Yeah. Geez.
But then
Which is more kind of residual income
Yeah.
you'd want it for rather than like next
and
week.
things die down and stuff, and you split it to like your feature artists or
Yeah.
whatever you're producing, that kind of stuff as well. Then you would have like Imro's really good for your radio stuff, but also for performances. So like if you play like a really big venue, you can submit your set list to Imro,
Yeah.
and then you will get paid per song you played in that venue.
God, yeah, any artist listening to this, please join Imro. Like, it's, people don't see it as immediate money, which is absolutely not. Like, you might play a festival and they get paid for 8 months down the line, but like, that's a couple €100 that
Yeah.
you were not expecting. Like, please, please, please join Imro.
Yeah.
And then the best one's sync money, like so money for like TV or film.
Yeah.
Because that's big money.
Because
when
you
that
guys,
happens.
one of your songs was on Normal People.
Bus,
was it?
man. Yeah, Bus and
How
Men Are
did you
Trash
guys
Going.
get that? Like, did they come to you? Did you
They
push
came to
it?
us, yeah. I think they specifically want a lot of Irish artists, and they kind of just picked who they wanted. It was really good. And then they put 2 songs on it, and then that one, because they both got on playlists as well. Then, and like I think they'd had a playlist called like Connell's Picks, and he picked Bus as well, so that got like it did really well that way. And then the Air ad wanted it, so Air put it on their ad, and they put on a Christmas version where they added sleigh bells. Look, they paid us for it. It was
Okay,
great.
do whatever.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it. But like whenever like something like that, and if they have to renew that, typically the renewal money goes up there as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really good way to eat off music.
Yeah.
If they get on TV and film, it's sick.
It's slow. It's like, I think the ad just got renewed there again.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, this is like the 3rd year.
Yeah.
Like, or we've shot in 2020. So yeah, this is like the second renewal. They paid for a year, then they renewed it. They renewed it for now 6 months. And the bag is like, it's actually great, but it's like, we're not seeing that for 6 months.
Yeah.
So you just have to be like, look, I will have money in exactly 6 months.
Yeah.
Trust me, I got you.
So what do you do in between that?
I mean, like, I think Matt obviously has a very good paying 9 to 5. He's a proper corporate dude. He's having a great time. I'm freelance media, so I do fucking everything.
Yeah.
From like, I teach music to kids. I work on like kind of cultural programs. I do marketing. I do
Yeah.
events. I'm working with White Claw doing interviewing. It's like you just gotta say yes to everything.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it is, if you do music, you can use that to kind of make so much money, and there's so many opportunities. You just have to be open, you know? So, I mean, I've done all sorts of stuff. Like, when is this coming out?
About a month's time.
Oh, yeah. So, like, I'm now working like the Dublin Fringe Festival, and like working on kind of interactive experiences and like kind of fine art and shit like
Yeah.
that. But that all just stemmed from me like doing everything.
Yeah.
And then it kind of all
necessity
spins
as
out
well.
from there. Pardon?
And necessity.
Yeah, because
as
you
well.
gotta pay. You gotta pay rent.
Yeah, of
you know?
course.
You gotta pay rent. But then it's like it's so much fun. Like I'm making more now than I did at like my marketing job for like a marketing agency.
Oh yeah,
you
you
know?
did. I knew you when you were working for that. It's like
Which one was it? It was
don't know.
Was it the?
a couple of years ago. Like when I met you with Ralph, you were working a job.
Yeah. I was. Yeah, I was still.
About a
working
year
the job.
ago. Yeah. But
Um,
that's really interesting, and I think that's actually good insight. Like I think one thing I find in Ireland is that people are always doing stuff, but they're never really telling the people after them how to progress. So everybody's making the same mistake all the time. Like, and it's like we're not growing as a scene, and we're not going anywhere, and that
I
goes
don't know,
back to the
like
conversation.
gatekeep like that. It's not like it's competition.
I don't. Do you know what's funny? It's like
even if it's
sometimes
like-
I don't even feel like. I don't know. I'm definitely a more glass half full type of person. So
Yeah.
I don't tend to see the Irish scene as negatively as people tend to see it. I think a lot of things are subconscious and people actually don't know. So a lot of times people are like, oh, this person's not saying this, it's gatekeeping. I don't actually think that that person knows how to communicate that thing that's happened. Like we expect people to know how to share and know how to promote and know how to do these things. But a lot of rappers just know how to rap. Like they
Yeah.
don't have marketing skills. They don't have business mindset. They just want to rap and get the biggest bag, and that's it.
Plus, not to mention as well, you're asking someone to like unprompted publicly say their business, which I
Yeah.
think is a big ask. It's like if anyone messages me about any creative, messages me about anything creative, like how much was this worth, how long did you interview, whatever. I would tell anyone
Yeah.
anything privately. But I'm never gonna be like, oh, this company gave
Yeah,
me this bag.
I
people
don't
would
I don't
run
think
to that,
people
yeah.
and I don't think
No.
people anticipate the questions
Yeah.
to know the answers, and it's like I think sometimes obviously there's certain people they're like, yeah, no, I'm not telling anybody this, but that's their own. But I think for the most part, from the people that I've seen, I don't think there's enough platforms in Ireland that give people the opportunity to talk about this, because other than this, like you said, you're not going to go on your Instagram and be like, oh, everybody join in, bro, like we're making so much money, like,
And,
you know what I mean?
and it's techie because like as well, you can talk about your path, but the minute you start giving details of like names and corporations and payments, especially if it's negative, you're also hurting yourself. Like I
Yeah.
think it's such a big ask. Like if you any creative who you message privately and be like, hey, listen, I'm interested in this. I kind of want to get some guidance X and Y, or this called like recently a musician we got booked for the same gig. He's like, hey, how much you get offered to pay for this thing, right? Like how much is your fee? I'm like, privately it's between me and you. I'm like, we got offered this much. They got offered maybe a tenth of that. Now, mind you, they're not like massively underneath us, so like they're just starting off or nothing. But it's like companies will take the piss with you if given the chance. So privately, message people, like reach out to people. I think people are very open about that kind of stuff for sure. Like,
I've met like I'm a random girl from Waterford talking to, like, I've met so many people in Waterford, like, or in Dublin, that I didn't know this time last year. Like maybe it's because I'm from outside of the issue, do you know what I mean, that I find it easier to connect with people. But I do find like people are willing to work together as long as other people are cooperative, do you know what I mean?
yo, it's a stigma of like in college, especially Maynooth, it was kind of this stigma of like sometimes in the library or whatever that, oh, the black people are being like mean or stush or whatever. And they're like, no, just keep it to themselves. But if you come talk to us, like they're nicest people ever. Like that. Well, it was kind of a thing sometimes where they're like, oh, they're being like intimidating. And it's like, no, this is minding
Bro,
their
you're
business.
literally just chilling.
No, but also like if you're
Maths people telling you you're
I know, but as well, like let's keep it 100 sometimes. Like you are maybe intimidating someone just starting off. Like maybe MJ and Abby are intimidating because like some people are like extroverts and bigger than life personalities, and they're doing things, and that can be intimidating. But like that's something for you to work on, not for them to work on. We're not like, we'll be open and free with you and give information, but we're not dimming our shine because you're intimidated. Like that's on you to overcome, you know?
But yeah, no, I have so much more that I want to talk to you about, but this guy has to go. But one
for a baby.
one of my favorite things about you is that even though you are a duo, you are very independent, and I think it's nice that you have both release your own songs. Like I know you have.
Whose is better?
Neither. I hate it both.
Okay,
equally.
fair. I accept it. That's crazy. Let him say that's crazy.
I mean, his funny's not your funny, so like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like Matt's is slightly better. I think the more I listen
yours
to
is
him,
just straight satire. Like it's just satire. Like that's all I hear.
Yeah,
do you know
baby,
what I mean?
It's punk, bro. It's punk, bro. It's real shit.
Yeah, like I'm not into punk and rock and
I'm a
screaming.
rock
Yeah,
chick,
that's
bro.
not
I'm
me.
a
Like,
rock chick.
Yeah,
I like to
do you know
break
what?
shit.
I'm
I
not gonna lie,
rock
Matt,
out.
I'm more likely to
Yeah.
play Matt's.
Yeah, man, that's fine to
You're
say.
just chill, like, do you know what I mean? Yours is like, priest skirts up!
And don't you feel like free in saying that? It's being able to be like, yeah, look, I think I rate his shit
I have no
more.
problem. Like, I'll tell people if I don't like Pat Lagoon, my guy. I tell him all like I don't like his music. Like,
Not
it's just,
Pat catching
like,
strays. He's not even on the
it's just-
podcast, bro.
Like it's just I like some of what he does. I don't like everything he does. It's
Yeah,
just not me.
that's
And he
healthy.
has no problem with that because he knows the type of music I listen to already.
Word.
But
Word.
like I was saying, thank you guys for coming through. I do like that you guys are very like individual in your connectivity. Congrats on opening or starting your label with Gory.
Shout out worldwide.
Worldwide clothing. Yeah, I'll have my socks on later. And yeah, good job to you for being you. I feel like you do so much other things that I don't actually know about. Like even like everything you were saying about the freelance stuff. Like that's really cool. And like I think that's good. Like good on you for being able to like quit your job and try and do other things that make you happy.
We out here, baby.
That's good.
That's what's up, man.
And yeah, like more success and more life and all that good stuff.
More life, man. Stay
to you
rich,
guys.
man.
But yeah, it was nice meeting you.